Hey buds, I'm your host Sam.
And I'm your co-host Ozzy.
And this is
Kush Crime Final Edition.
Whoop Whoop. Welcome back to another episode of Kush Crime, where we finally have your last part of Aileen Wuornos.
Yes, that's what I was going to actually say. It's not our final episode, but the final episode towards this case.
Yes, I'm over it. I think you guys are probably over it.
This is like the longest freaking case ever.
I'm not doing a serial killer for a while. That's just what I have come to.
Yeah, especially this one. This was actually pretty long.
There's so much to them, and we're gonna be
like I
just
want
doing some short
to
cases.
hear different things.
Right, I'm ready to move on. But this is like a really good part. So this is when she gets caught, goes to trial, does all that stuff. So hopefully it's a little bit more entertaining for you. But it is going to be a little bit longer of a part just because of there's a lot of information that gets thrown in there and how she gets caught and all that stuff.
She just wasn't a good killer.
Well, anybody that kills is not good, I would say.
Well, you'd be surprised.
Who do you know that is a killer, first of all? Second of all, a nice person that's a killer. That's not a thing.
Jason.
Okay. Sure. He's nice because he kills everyone. Mm-hmm.
They were making fun of his mom. And they almost drowned him.
Okay, but what about all the other movies?
What do you mean?
Where they weren't making fun of his mom or did not drown him?
Which ones?
All of the other Jason movies.
He needs to kill to survive.
Okay. So he's nice?
Yeah.
I'm scared. Please send help. Send help.
He's a nice person.
Oh, okay. Anywho, so we're going to jump into the case today. We don't really have that much story or anything for you because we just want to get this over with for you. But Ozzy is going to go ahead and take it away with the strain of the day. Ozzy?
Today's strain of the day is Durban Poison. Durban Poison is a pure sativa origin from the South African port of the city Durban. It has gained popularity during the worldwide prestige worldwide for its sweet, energetic, and uplifting effects. Durban Poison is a perfect strain to help you stay productive throughout a busy day when exploring outdoors or lend to a spark of creativity. Growers and concentrate enthusiasts will both enjoy an oversized resin gland, which makes the strain quality choice for a concentrate extraction, and the buds are round and chunky.
Thick.
Big bitch.
Thick bitch.
And its leaf is coating of trichomes in almost all areas of the plant. I feel like for me it doesn't matter. Like it just.
Because we mostly smoke hybrids and indicas. You haven't really smoked a pure sativa. If you had, because I don't really like pure sativas, but if you had smoked a pure sativa, you would probably understand that it's a lot easier to function with sativa because it's more of like.
I just prefer these better.
The indicas?
Yeah.
Knock you on the ass, bud.
Yeah. Especially after training.
Just in general. Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't know. For me, it's like an equivalent of a hot shower.
Yeah. It relaxes you. So
it relaxes me to a point where I just knock out. Like last night, I just snuggled next to you, and then next thing you know, I woke up. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. All right. So, is there anything else that we need to add here?
We apologize of how busy we were that we can't release as much content that we would want. Oh, and we have a surprise for you.
We do have a surprise. I almost forgot what the surprise was.
Don't tell them.
But I know what it is. Don't tell them. I won't tell them. They'll be surprised. It's a work in progress. Hopefully.
Oh, it is.
We'll see.
It's just a matter of how it will be in the final outcome.
Okay. We'll see.
Pretty bad.
I don't think so. All right.
But we'll let you know later down in the road.
You'll be surprised when it happens.
Look for the Instagram post.
Or if you guys also follow us, we have Facebook too.
And Twitter.
And Patreon.
All of social platforms except OnlyFans, unless you want to see my feet.
Yeah, I'll sell feet pics.
I'll send you my cat's feet too if you want me to.
Toe beans.
You want toe beans?
Do you want toe beans? Subscribe now.
$5.
$5 unlocks all of the toe beans in the household.
But
we have 3 cats.
Just check us out and you'll see what the surprise is. It's like a teaser, but you'll be surprised in the end. Hopefully.
Surprise. It's a surprise.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Some fries, motherfucker. Capsize, motherfucker. You never even watched that.
I know of it.
No, you never watched it. So you can't
I
claim.
know of
if
it.
you know what I'm talking about without me having to say what show
Pulp
it is.
Fiction.
DM us. No.
Actually, you know what? That was the meme, right?
The kid remade it and he was saying some fries, motherfucker. Capsize, motherfucker.
Ah, yes.
Baptized, motherfucker.
Yes.
I don't know who that was, but that was hilarious.
So many memes out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually afraid of people taking pictures of me in public and making it into a meme. Like they took William Knight. He's a UFC fighter now. I actually trained with him. He's a really super humble guy and everything like that.
Super nice.
Super chill.
Yeah.
He looks scary on the outside, but he's
very
actually
nice.
very nice and very
No,
helpful.
he's mean and scary. He'll beat you up.
Oh yeah,
Look at
he
him in
will if you
UFC.
disrespect him.
He is scary, but deep down
they took a picture of him at like a fan page of MMA, and on the top caption it says, "When my child gets a pill of fruity Flintstones vitamins," and on the bottom it's him going flexing with his arms like literally next to each other and the muscles popping out and everything. And then he actually commented on that. He goes, that's actually funny. That actually made me laugh.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, but yeah, sometimes I'm scared of like that stuff like
or
that.
Or that girl that fell asleep in that chair.
Exactly, and it just made a whole meme out of her. Like I feel bad.
Photoshopped her everywhere.
You know, it's a scary world, and you can't do anything because you're gonna get caught.
Exactly. So that's why we're here. Because guess what? Aileen got caught.
Shut up. All right, let's go.
All right. So without further ado, this is part 4.
I don't know what that was.
That was not a
That was a
proper
diesel
drum
truck warming up.
All right, so we're just gonna hop right in because I know y'all been waiting on us to move on, so here we go. As we had discussed last time, the police had sent out a request for information out to newspapers on the 2 women that were in the sketch, which we posted on our Instagram last week. So
looks like a 5-year-old drew it.
Yeah, it's really bad, but we posted it there.
That's like me drawing.
Yeah, like me too. Like I'm okay at drawing. I can't really draw, but that's how
terrible,
I draw.
But that's like me drawing.
Yeah, yeah. So
it's like, what did it look like? Did it look like this? Like what? It's almost like Scott Pilgrim. That scene.
Ramona Flowers.
Do you know Ramona Flowers?
Favorite scene.
Do you mean this girl? And it was all scribbles, and she goes, "Yes, her."
Did she have hair like this? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Ramona Flowers.
Yeah. Like how? Like how do you know? Scott Pilgrim is one of our favorites.
Well, one of his favorites.
Oh yeah, mine. Yeah.
Yes, his.
Forever till the day I die.
Anywho, so those really bad sketches that were really bad that we could have drawn, we posted them on the Instagram so you could take a look at that, and then so that way you could see what we're talking about. So they sent that out to the newspapers, and they're like, all right, who are these women? So a man in Homosassa. Did you do it at the same time?
Yes, I did.
That was creepy. I couldn't tell, but I thought you did.
It was like the Great White Buffalo. The Great White Buffalo.
Homosassa Springs. Homosassa. Had said that two. Sorry, guys. that two women had fit the description and gave names Tyria Moore and Lee. Then another person in Tampa that used to work at a motel called the police, and she said that she thought the sketch looked like two women that she knew, Tyria Moore and Susan Blahovec.
That Russian girl again.
Yeah, so as you guys may or may not recall, that was one of her aliases.
Yeah.
So obviously, she has two people name her. So after they received these two tips, a task force was formed to find her. So they're like, okay.
Ultra Force
assemble. We're closing in. Let's go. They're like, we're hunting a killer, boys. So meanwhile, Tyria and Lee are seeing these sketches of themselves and they're freaking out a little bit. But like Leah's like, no problem, we're fine. We're good, don't worry. And Lee had actually ended up proposing to Lee with the ring that she had stolen from her last victim. So after that, a little bit of time goes by and Tyria's like, you know what, you shouldn't be doing sex work anymore, you shouldn't be killing people anymore, you know, like if you're not going to change, I'm done. And she ended up deciding to break up with Lee because they got evicted, so she gave her the ring back. And then Tyria went up north to live in Ohio, and Lee went and moved in with one of her friends for a little while, and she was having sex with him, but she wasn't charging him or anything, so it was almost like a rebound.
Well, I mean, the dude gave her a place to live,
right? So
why would she charge him unless it's like rent?
Well, I don't know. I just think that's worth mentioning because,
I mean, that's kind of expected.
Ass, gas, or grass?
Yeah. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, all right.
Like, you live in my house.
Okay.
Rent free.
Okay. Yeah, we better be together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
you're
you're paying me.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess you're right, yeah. All right, so anyway, she moved out and she moved in with him, and then he ended up leaving her, so she ended up going and living back in the motel, but she was just staying in the room. She wasn't going out, she wasn't prostituting anymore, she was just staying in the room, not doing anything. When her and Tyria had left, she put all of her belongings in a storage locker, so she was just carrying around one little suitcase. That's all she had with her, just a little tiny suitcase. And then after a little while, because she wasn't bringing any money in for the motel she was staying at, she got evicted again. So this is where the police start coming in on Lee. She's 34 years old. She's looking like fucking complete garbage. And she was just like homeless. She was living on the side of the road. She was actually sleeping behind a bar on a yellow old car seat.
Like, what do you mean? Like
a car seat, like.
But it's dirty or something?
Yeah, it was old. And it was just out of the car and behind the car.
Oh, I thought she was sleeping in the car.
No, car seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like outside near the dumpster?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So at this point, the police are starting to close in on her, and they're unraveling all of her other identities, and they're trying to narrow down all of her movements from the places that she was staying. So she had found out that the ID for Cammie Green, the one they had on file with the DMV, did not match the one that was like provided to one of the places that she stayed at. And they also found out that Cammie Green had pawned a camera and a patrol radar detector, which they had found out later to be belonging to Richard Mallory. They also had found out that she had pawned a set of tools that matched a description of tools missing from David Spears' truck. But the good thing is, in Florida, when you pawn something, you have to give your thumbprint. So she gave the thumbprint.
Oh, really? Like, there's no escaping it?
Yeah, so you have to give your thumbprint, and so they took that thumbprint, too, for Cammie Green.
I'm assuming for, like, security purposes, like this.
Right, just like this. Like, if somebody steals your shit, you can find out.
Damn, in Connecticut, they don't do that.
No, they don't. Or
That's
not
crazy.
last time I checked.
No, remember when I pawned that one thing?
Oh, yeah.
They didn't ask me for that.
Oh, no, they didn't. But yeah, but when we sold our stuff to GameStop, they asked for our thumbprint, too.
Since when?
The last time we did, down here.
I don't remember that.
I don't think they did it for you, but I think they did it for me. Did you sign a sheet?
No.
They made me sign a sheet and give my thumbprint.
That's weird.
Yeah. Why didn't they do that?
No, I didn't even get asked.
Yeah, they did. They did not do that for you. They did that for me, though.
Yeah, they didn't do that for me.
Apparently, I look like a thief, guys.
Yeah, they didn't do that for me because remember I pre-ordered Resident Evil. Which, by the way, Resident Evil is a very, very good game.
Yeah, the game is scary. It made me jump a little bit, but I did play it. And I don't play scary games. You can ask Ozzy.
Nah, she's starting to learn about the Resident Evil genre.
Well, I watch him play it, and I watched him play, I think it was 2 and 3 and 7, and I had nightmares.
Oh,
after
you should
all
see
3.
4.
After all 3, I had nightmares.
But if you're actually into video games and want to know the latest and latest
and latest
and greatest gameplay ever, watch my boy's Twitch page, No Lab Spartan. That's on Twitch. He plays literally the latest games that come out. It could be as simple as Halo. It could be as simple as Call of Duty. He literally plays all these games and he reviews them at the same time. He gives you good content to actually get good reaction and also good game quality as well.
Yeah, it's good to look at before you buy a game, before you like commit to it.
Exactly. So he actually breaks down and reviews all these games and he tells you how it is and everything.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I know he follows us on Instagram.
Yep, and we've been actually friends for years, but here's the kicker. We don't know each other.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right. We don't know each other.
Okay, so you haven't met in person.
We haven't met in person.
You're
we
online
met
friends.
Yeah, we're online friends.
Aww.
We met on Xbox 360 through a mutual friend of ours.
He said 360.
Which I don't think we are longer friends with them.
Who?
It was like that's how I met him. It was through a mutual friend. Right.
Okay.
But we're not friends anymore, and life stuff. But it's like, he actually is till this day I'm gonna visit him one day, and he lives in New Jersey, so it's a little difficult.
Why doesn't he just come here? Because I don't want to go up north.
Right.
He can come down here.
We'll see what happens, but check out his Twitch channel. Like I said, he does good gameplay and good video quality. His Twitch channel is No Lab Spartan.
Is he cooking something?
Sounds like he's cooking something. but in the video, he's actually just playing his video games.
Somebody's cooking something.
Maybe they're making eggs. But yeah. Again, his Twitch channel is No Lab Spartan if you want some good content for video game.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the story, Tom.
Tom. Hi, Tom. So at this point, the thumbprint was really the catalyst of the downfall of Aileen Wuornos. So with that thumbprint, police ran it through their system, came up with absolutely nothing, but they took it over to Volusia County. And in Volusia County, they had found that the print had matched a weapons charge and an outstanding warrant for one Lori Grody, which, if you also remember, was another alias that she had gone by. So just fake names are starting to pop back up against her.
She's not even remembering these lies.
Literally. So once the thumbprint came back that matched Lori, they also ran it against the palm print found in Peter Symes's car. And guess what?
What?
It was a match. Mm-hmm. And that was the car that her entire crashed and ran through that fence. Yeah.
It's getting sloppy.
Yeah, she was already pretty sloppy. I'm not going to lie about that. So like I had said, they were starting to get close, but they didn't quite have enough evidence yet. Because all they could really prove was like, okay, she at one time had these items in her possession and sold them. So there wasn't really enough to charge her with the murders of everybody yet. So what they did was they started to surveil her to try to get more information and see what they could do.
Seems like the smart way of doing things.
Right.
So basically, like, they knew, but they didn't want to make a mistake or something.
Exactly. They didn't want to fuck it up. They wanted to get her.
So they were playing possum because they knew everything.
Exactly. So they didn't want her to be suspicious that they knew about the killings either. So what they did was they surveilled her. They put 2 undercover cops on her, and almost right away their fucking shit was blown when 2 street cops pulled up and went to go talk to her and almost arrest her. So the two undercovers call into their post and they're like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Is this planned? Like, what is happening here? This can't be happening. Tell them to go away. So they do. They tell the other police the command tells the two officers to go on their way.
So it's like that Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other.
Yeah. Exactly. But they told him to go away, and then the other two cops came into the bar that she went into and then started like surveilling her, chatting her up, because again, they were undercover, so they were just talking. So the two undercover police officers, their names were Mike Joyner and Dick Martin. Dick Martin. So after they were in the bar, they were just chatting her up, and they just said goodnight after that. And they went on their way. She went to the back of the bar and fell asleep in the passenger seat. So the next day they were supposed to continue watching her, and they realized that there was going to be a party at the bar. So they thought, we can't really watch her at the bar like that. She could just slip out at any moment. She could disguise herself. Like, we have to move in now. So what they did was they approached her in the bar before the party, and they said, hey, do you want to come to our motel, and do you want to like clean up a little bit? And she was like, not really. But then she changed her mind. She's like, you know what? Yeah, probably because she was living outside and probably didn't shower for at least a couple of days. So
He's a stinky girl.
She was a stanky girl. So right after that, they walked outside with her and they arrested her for the charges of gun possession that Lori Grody had.
Oh, they moved in?
Yeah. So as soon as they got outside of the bar, they arrested her.
So it was like one of those Chris Hansen episodes. They're waiting at the freaking wall.
Exactly. Exactly.
Sorry, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
Boom, you're under arrest.
So they arrested her, but when they didn't mention anything at all about the murders. She was just getting arrested for Lori Grody. So basically they were just keeping her off the streets so that way she couldn't go kill anybody else or run away, and they knew where she was so they could get the evidence that they needed to charge her with the murders, which is what they were going to do with Brian Laundrie if Brian Laundrie wasn't found allegedly dead. Okay, so that would have taken him off the streets so that way they could find enough evidence to charge him with the murder. So
still angers me that he actually committed suicide.
Yeah, but I don't like that they haven't found. I don't know if they found the gun. I haven't heard anything. I don't know, like what. I know that they found a skull fragment, but how do they know that he killed himself with a gun?
I feel like it's literally like they just literally dropped the case. Like I just feel like it was forgotten out of nowhere. Like you don't hear about it anymore.
No.
And it's like.
And I'm sure that's how everybody
we're all like, what about his parents?
They're selling their house. Their house is for sale.
Yeah, but they should be charged for something too.
I don't know. They let him go pretty much, but it's not. I don't know. I don't think they could really charge him with anything, but they know more information than.
Duh.
They know everything.
Yeah.
And obviously, if he did actually kill himself, which I still don't know if I fully believe that, but if he did, then he definitely did it out of guilt. Because he did it, and he knows the whole world did it. He knows that the whole world knows that he did it.
Right.
All right, circling back to Aileen Wuornos' case. Obviously, we just talked a lot about her, but, we kind of left out Tyria. So Tyria, again, now she's left, but this whole time she's been using her real name, so she's a lot easier to track. So the police find her. She's living in Pennsylvania with her sister, and they fly up and they book a motel, and they're like, "Ma'am, we need to talk to you." So pretty much immediately she just fucking cracks and she just starts talking to them, and she's like, "Oh, I have this. It's a clock radio. It belongs to Charles Humphreys, and then I also have a briefcase of his, and I also have an item that belongs to Corky Reed. Here you go."
Corky.
Yeah, which again is interesting because allegedly they cannot connect Corky Reed to Aileen Wuornos, but she fucking did this shit and she had his shit. So she began to speak to them a little bit more, and like after talking to them for a little while, she agreed to testify against Lee. Like, okay, so clearly you just want this all to be on her. Like, you have nothing to do with it, even though that the evidence points so that she knew a lot more, and that she was also with her for at least one of the murders, which is just annoying. So basically, she admitted that she knew somewhat about Richard Mallory's murder because Lee had told her that she had killed a man, but that's all she knew about it, and she told Lee to stop talking and not say anything else. And every other time that she would come home with things that she had gotten from the people that she had killed, she would say that she didn't want to know at all. So Tyria allegedly felt that if she had known more about what Lee was doing, then she would have wanted to turn Lee into the police.
Snitch.
Yeah. So basically they were like, so why didn't you just tell the police? Like, why didn't you leave? And she was basically like, I was scared that Lee would kill me if I said anything, or if I ran. Snitched. Yeah, of course. So
snitches get stitches.
Oh my God. Oh shit. Okay. So but it's interesting because Lee always said, you know, I would never hurt her. But again, I guess you can't really believe her. She is a liar and she's a murderer. So, but again, I don't fully buy that because she was there for at least one.
Yeah.
So
right.
I feel like she enjoyed it too, and they got money from selling the shit that they found. So I don't think that it was like that. But so she can sit here and she can claim innocence all she wants, and that's fine because guess what? Lee is more than willing to take the blame.
You sound like you're the judge of it right now.
Yeah, fuck them. They're pieces of shit. So
damn.
They are. They're both definitely killers, or at least one is definitely a killer and the other was definitely an accomplice. But she never got charged because she testified against Lee. So the day after that, they made their way back down to Florida. And because Tyria agreed to assist in the investigation, she went with them. So what the police were after in this case from Tyria was a confession from Lee. So as it stands right now, they don't have a murder weapon. They can't prove that she did kill these men, like fully. So, or they don't have like enough evidence for a strong case. So they would need a confession in order to move forward. So they put Tyria under 24-hour surveillance and they book a motel for her in Daytona. And then they asked her to reach out to Lee in prison and then just tell her that she came to get the rest of her stuff out of the storage locker. So while they discussed everything, obviously their conversations were being recorded.
Well, yeah, it's a prison.
Right.
So what do you expect?
Well, she's in jail. So the police then instructed Tyria that when she was on the phone with Lee, she needs to tell Lee that the police had questioned her family and her, and that she thinks that the murders are going to be pinned on her if Lee doesn't say anything. So she did what the police asked her to do, and Lee obviously knew that the calls were being recorded, and she just talked to her but tried initially to speak in code. But then when she kind of picked up on what Tyria wanted her to do, that's when she was like, all right. So for 3 days.
So she basically told her before they found out what was going on.
Like she tried, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's pretty impressive though.
Yeah, she's like, so are you sure you're alone? Are you sure you're alone? Like,
right.
She knew. So Tyria calls her for 3 days at the police's request, and each time she was being more and more pushy, was saying that the police were after her, and then at that point, like, Lee finally fully got the picture of exactly what she needed to do to protect Tyria. And again, not that she deserved it. So she told Tyria, I know that someone is taping our conversations. And then right after that, she started being less careful and more open about what she said, knowing that they were taping.
That's pretty gangster, though.
Mm-hmm. So she decided to go ahead and take full responsibility for the crimes that she had committed in an effort to save Tyria, which again, I didn't deserve it. But Lee literally told her, I told you everything. So Lee told Tyria to tell them whatever they want to know. She will cover for her because she is innocent, and she will not let her go to jail. And if she has to confess, then she will. Mm-hmm. So after this, after she tells that to Tyria, Lee is basically like, I'm going to die. They're going to kill me. They're going to sentence me to death. Because,
well, yeah, I mean, you killed so many people.
Yeah, well, the death penalty is still active down here. We had to double check that, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is.
I thought they stopped that shit a long time ago.
No, it's still active in the state of Florida. There's actually people still on death row. Yeah, so she
That's gotta be a weird job, like
giving a lethal injection.
Yeah, like have a good day of killing people.
Ew, yeah, that's gonna weigh on your soul.
You know? Yeah, like that's gotta be tough.
But then at the same time,
well,
it wasn't your decision.
Well, let's say a normal person would have a tough time with that job.
Yeah.
But a crazy psychotic person would enjoy that.
Maybe it.
You know,
a killer. That'd be.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's
thing
what,
for a killer.
That's what I'm saying. Like a normal person, it would weigh a lot.
Yeah.
But a person that's not okay mentally and it's just a killer, like they would enjoy that shit every
Most
day.
likely. Yeah. Ugh. So, in any case, Lee decided, like, she's starting to realize that she is going to die. And she starts thinking about what is going to happen next. So she tells Taria that she's going to write a book. I'm going to give the money all to you. And then she keeps going, I love you so much. You know, when I'm a spirit, I'm going to follow you and I'll keep you safe and shit, like an angel. Like if you get in an accident and shit, like that's what she was saying. Exactly that way. Like how I'm speaking is how Aileen Wuornos spoke.
How I'm speaking?
Yeah, how I am speaking is how she spoke, honestly. But it's kind of like sad to me. Like even though Aileen is a monster, like she is taking full responsibility for something that she didn't do fully by herself. And I think that sucks because Taria never really loved her like that to be able to just put everything on her.
So she's taking full responsibility on all those other girls' accounts too?
Well, she's saying that she is Susan Black. Well, she's going to say she's Susan Blavik, Lori Grody, and Cammie Green. And then she's going to say that she alone was the one that killed everybody.
Nobody else.
And Taria had nothing to do with it at all.
Fuck that.
And even though we can talk about this, but this is in our other part too, when that sketch is from when they went to Georgia, meaning they were both together in that car in Georgia buying the Windex to clean out Peter Symes' car.
Yeah, but fuck that.
Which means they both went there
If I
together.
go to jail, you go to jail too.
Yeah, I ain't saying shit. Well, I don't know what you did, but unless it was really bad, I'm not saying anything. I plead the fifth. Anyway, why are you looking at me like that?
So, you would snitch?
No, it depends on what you did.
So.
All right, so after the conversation with Taria on the phone, Lee went over to a table inside of the jail and she started sobbing, and she called over a guard in the prison and she said, I've done some terrible things and I want to confess. So the guard recommended her getting a lawyer, and that she obviously had to tell her supervisor about it, the guard. So later that day, she was taken in and she starts to confess. And she confesses to 6 murders total. She said, I killed 6, not 10. And she tells the police that it was all in self-defense. And she just let it all. Bleh. She had word vomit. She just spewed. And it was all pretty much like she would say something about what she did, and then she would talk about Taria and say how she would have absolutely nothing to do with it at all.
I was just gonna say, so she said all that information, still defended them.
Yeah, so she had she defended her, saying that she did nothing at all. Little pretty princess. Basically, she was saying that she said that when she was hooking, in her words, she would request her money, and if they did the deed and just gave her money, she was fine. She would just go about their way, go on her way. But if they started giving her a hard time, or if they didn't want to pay her at all, that's when she would retaliate. And again, she was saying all of this without a lawyer present. She was just rambling about everything.
Interesting.
Yeah, but then at a certain point, she does ask for a lawyer, and then while she's waiting on the lawyer to get there, she's still talking, but the police stop talking because they can't ask her any more questions without her lawyer present because she requested a lawyer. But she just keeps talking and saying how Taria had nothing to do with it, and if she could do anything,
I can do better.
Yeah, like she will do anything. She'll do anything for them. She'll go under hypnosis, a lie detector test, anything. And her whole confession is just so chaotic because, again, 1 minute she's saying Taria's innocent, she had nothing to do with it all, it was all on me, I did it all. And then she's like, I killed that person, I shot him 9 times, like just going like back and forth, back and forth. So when she's giving the confession, it seems like she has remorse for what she's saying, for what she did, but it's really just because of how it's going to affect Taria. It's not because she actually feels bad for committing the crime itself. So finally her lawyer gets there, and like she just keeps talking, and she said that she wished that she never killed anyone, never did sex work or nothing. But she said that then she would switch over and she would say, oh, everything I did in self-defense. I did because of what they tried to do to me, and then goes back again. And then she said that everyone that she had killed was trying to physically harm her in some way, either rape her, kill her, or beat her up. So before they got to do what they wanted to do to her, she took things into her own hands, essentially.
Damn.
The whole time this is going on, the police are just keeping it cool. They're like, here, have a cigarette, have some coffee. They're just trying to make her feel comfortable so she'll just keep word vomiting. And
she's a parrot at this point.
Yeah, she's fucking letting it all go. And they're just using this to their advantage. But again, the lawyer does arrive, and then they can finally just like fully interview her. Again, according to Lee, she's only killed 6 men that she can remember. But then when she starts to ramble again, the police bring her back in. They're like, all right, stop. How would you aim your shots at the men? And she would say, I would always shoot at the area in their chest, so for center mass. And typically they would both get naked, and then the reason that she killed them is because she thought that they were going to rape her, beat her, or kill her. So she did what she had to do. So she admits,
as she should.
Yeah. But that's not what happened. That's not what they were trying. That's not what was happening. So she admits this, except for maybe Richard Mallory, which is the one that we had talked about in the beginning. That could have been self-defense just because he had that violent rape charge and everything. Maybe. But all these other ones, I don't think so. She admits to selling Charles Carskadon's gun, and she tells the police that when she killed him, he was very mad because he had a gun. She was very mad because he had a gun, and she thought that he was going to shoot her. Meanwhile, the gun didn't even have a firing pin in it, but so she shot him a total of 9 times, dumped his body off of 52, is what she says.
Damn, he got shot 9 times. 50 Cent got shot 9 times and he survived.
You're ridiculous. So the reason for like the 9 shots for him was because she was really mad. I don't know why 50 got shot 9 times.
There's a number of how mad you are.
Yeah, apparently. Well, it was a 9. It was her whole gun only carried 9 bullets.
I'm a number 9.
So she unloaded on him. She unloaded the whole fucking thing on him.
Yeah, but it's like, that's the number you're putting how mad you are.
Well, that's because how mad because if she was mad, she just unloaded the whole clip on him.
Oh, I thought she meant like 1 through 10. Like, no. I'm a number 9.
No. What? Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I was literally thinking like, I'm gonna choose number 9.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, of how mad I am.
She was 9, guys. No, her clip had 9 rounds in it. She unloaded on him. All right.
No.
So then they ask her about Richard Mallory, and she tells his story, which is the story I told you in part 2. So if you don't remember, you might want to go back and maybe get a quick refresher, or maybe listen to them
Spoiler alert.
The same row. But basically, he picked her up, they started drinking, she offered him sex, he said yes, and they stopped in a wooded area. Then she alleges that he started moving faster than what she was comfortable with, and she was like, whoa, let's slow it down. And then he starts pushing her head down. And let me tell you that men, that every woman hates that fucking move. Don't do that shit. Don't get your fucking hand off of my head. Don't fucking do that. I literally put in my notes here. And guys, let me tell you that women ... at least most women ... do not like this move.
Wait, what motion?
Just when Dad, don't listen to this, but like when Mochi skipped. You know, like when you want them to suck your dick and you're like pushing their head down, Like, I don't know, you don't do that. So, like, some guys will, like, fucking want you to suck their dick, and then they'll, like, push your head down.
Like forcing you?
Yes, and I fucking hate that shit. It's terrible. I'm glad you don't do it, but don't fucking do that.
Sorry, Mochi and Dad.
It's safe now. Anywho, yeah, we don't like that, or I don't. So,
I'm just a different breed, bro.
Yeah.
They're Marcos, man.
So then, all right. So then he pushes himself onto her, unzips his pants, and then he started to get violent with her. And she took her gun out of her bag, jumped out of the car, and ordered him to get out, and then shot him. So that's what she says about Richard Mallory. So the police continued on their questioning and asked her if she would watch TV to see if the police were onto her and see if the police had found the bodies of the men. She said, yeah, I would see if you found the bodies, or like if I knew what was going on. So then they also asked her an interesting question, which the police line of questioning is such a different way of thinking, because they just make it seem like they're trying to understand you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they were like, why not just threaten them? Because you had the control in all of these situations. Like, you had the gun. Like, you were in control at that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Why didn't you just, like, threaten and then just not do it and then just leave? And she was like, well, I don't know. If I didn't shoot them, then what would they come do to me? Would they come find me and kill me? Would they tell people about me and then nobody would want to pick me up? Because...
yeah, right back at them.
Yeah, because... that's my money. Like,
she's right though.
Right, like, would they run me over? And they're like, all right, okay,
fair.
They're like, okay, well, if that's the case, then why would you take all the things that you took if it was in self-defense? If that was the case, why would you do that? And then she was like, well, it was all in hatred when I took the stuff, because I was going to get my money's worth from them. And they're like a final revenge. And she's like, yeah, like a final revenge. So this whole time, her attorney is basically like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. You're just making your own case. Shut up. But she continued. She kept going. She kept saying everything was in self-defense. And the only time that she was really, truly remorseful, again, was when the actions that she had performed would affect Tyria. So, again, she keeps talking, and then police ask her about Curtis Reed, which is Corky, and then she just is like, nope, nothing to do with that at all. And they just kind of leave that there. So that was them ruling out that Corky was related to Aileen Wuornos. Which, again, all his stuff was found in her storage locker.
Well, yeah, I mean...
she definitely did it.
Yeah.
But that was just what they did to rule it out.
That's so...
yeah. Yeah. Especially like when the whole thing was her motive, like, or her MO.
Like, there's a lot of evidence against her.
Literally. So then they keep questioning her. They ask her about her identities. They confronted her about using the name Susan Blauvek, and she was actually like, whoa, you guys knew about that? How do you know about that? Did I use it on the hotel or something? Like, oh, you guys are good. So then they started asking her about her childhood life a little bit, but then every time they would let her like just freely speak, she would just circle back to Tyria, saying how Tyria had nothing to do with it. She's completely innocent. She didn't have nothing to do with it. It was all me. I swear it was all me. And then they started asking her about the gun. And then
Jamie's got a gun.
Yep. And they're like, so would you help us find the gun? And she was like, yeah, I threw it in the water and I'll help you find it, only if I'm the only one that's going to be blamed for all these killings. So they let her sit in jail as they continued her continued their
like, she's an asshole, but she's actually heroic.
For Tyria only.
Yeah.
But Tyria was involved. Like, that's what makes me mad. She definitely was involved, though. Anyway, they leave her sitting in jail. Of course, this is fucking everywhere in the media. Like, even think about how Gabby Petito's case was. That was Aileen Wuornos' case. It was fucking everywhere. Media circus. Female serial killer? Are you kidding me? Big news. Big news.
Big news coming at you.
Oh, what is it?
Come and get it. Fresh off the printer.
There it is. Fresh off the press.
Yes.
Fresh off the press. It's a hot headline ticket. Ticket headline. All right. I don't know what I'm saying. So, on Monday, January 28th of 1991, Aileen Wuornos was indicted for the murder of Richard Mallory. Then, by February of 1991, she was charged with the murders of David Spears, Charles Humphreys, and Troy Burress. So she was charged with Richard Mallory's first. So at this time, Lee's lawyers got a plea bargain. At this time, Lee's lawyers tried to put together a plea bargain where she would plead guilty to all 6 charges and receive 6 consecutive life terms. However, a state attorney was not having that at all and was like, no plea bargain for you, and you're getting put on trial for the murder of Richard Mallory. So they put her on trial. And
dun, dun, dun. It's like one thing after another.
So during the trial, Tyria testified against Lee and saying that she didn't seem upset when she came home about the murder. Back, she was happy about it. And there was other men that had worked with her on the side of the road that also went and stood trial against her. But the kicker here is in the state of Florida, we have a law known as the Williams Rule, which allows evidence relating to other crimes to be admitted if it serves into the court, if it serves to show a pattern. So that means her self-defense plea against Richard Mallory was moot because all of the evidence from all of her other murders were also allowed into the court. And her confession was played in court.
Wait, so what?
So normally if I go to trial for, let's say I stole a watch. I went to trial for stealing a watch. I pled not guilty. But normally it would just be a trial about that one watch that I stole.
Right.
However, in this instance, with the Williams Rule, if I had stolen previously, all of the other times that I have stolen could be brought in to this trial to establish a pattern that I'm a thief.
Oh, okay. That's what? That's not cool, man.
So, because of that, the jury got to see.
What if you're like trying to change your life and just because you're past, like.
Well, if you're on trial again, you fucked up again. So, just saying.
I know, but it's still like.
Right, or even if it was things from like, I don't know.
Like that's like athletes getting freaking their ass reamed because of something they tweeted or posted in 2001. Right. Like what?
Yeah.
Like I look at my memories on Facebook and I'm like, oh shit, this was a stupid thing. Why did I post that? Like I just delete it. Like we're young. Like what do you expect?
Right. So in this case, though, it did not help her plea because she was pleading self-defense, or no, she was pleading not guilty by reason of self-defense. Pretty sure.
Okay.
So because the court got to see her confession tape, they saw how little remorse that she had about the killings, talked about the killings freely, didn't really care, and then they also got to see all the evidence about the other people that she had killed and not just Richard Mallory. So everything got brought into it and it just kind of fucked her completely over.
Fucked her.
Yeah. Yeah, it fucked her over. So now that the whole courtroom has seen everything and they're just kind of like, okay, yeah, you know, we think she did it. Like, I think she's guilty.
No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah. So Lee only had one person testify on her behalf, and when she was cross-examined, the prosecutor on the case, John Tanner, made her look like so unreliable that it just didn't even matter that she got put on the stand.
Like she was irrelevant.
Yeah, just so irrelevant. So off the jury went to deliberate on January 27th of 1991. They deliberated for 91 minutes, an hour and a half. That is very quick. And they found Aileen Wuornos guilty of murder in the first degree. Damn. And soon as the verdict was read, Lee started screaming in the courtroom, "I'm innocent. I was raped. I was raped. I hope you get raped, scumbags of America."
Wait, to her or the judge?
The courtroom, everybody. Just everybody. The jury.
Damn.
Yep. So the judge on the case said that she would be, this is a quote from what he said that she would be delivered by the sheriff of Volusia County to the proper officer of the Department of Corrections of the state of Florida, and by him safely kept until by warrant of the state of Florida, you, Aileen Wuornos, will be electrocuted until you are dead. And may God have mercy on your corpse.
Damn, that's cold.
Mm-hmm. But
so she got electrocuted.
No. I think they stopped doing electrocutions because there was one that got botched. So, but when she got sentenced, they were still doing electrocutions. But by the time she got put to death, they were doing lethal injection. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like the electric would be more efficient money-wise.
No, I definitely think the injection would be.
Think so?
Yeah. Think about your electricity bill.
Yeah, but how many chemicals it has in it, though?
I read what it is, but I don't remember.
Like,
and science is not my thing. I'm sorry,
that's
guys.
Got to be like a whole bunch of chemicals. Like, how much those chemicals cost to make that one thing?
Yeah, but either way, disgusting business.
Yeah, but still, like, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I just want to know, because, like, what kind of chemicals goes in there? Like, is it rat poisoning or something? Like,
no, it says it in the book, and I can show you after if you'd like. We can look it up. All right, so we'll do that after. But honestly, it's kind of fucked up that he said, and God have mercy on your corpse.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's like, go fuck yourself.
But it does sound kind of metal, though. Like, it would be like in a screamo, in like a fucking metal song. If I could scream, I would do it. Anyway.
All right, emo girl.
So because she was sentenced to die, she didn't go on trial again for the murders of Dick Humphreys, Troy Burress, and David Spears. But she did plead no contest, so she did get a sentencing still from it. But she was basically just saying that she wanted to get it right with God. So she was handed 3 more death sentences by Florida, and she flipped off the judge and called him a motherfucker when he told her. So
fuck you.
Yeah, she's like, fuck you. And after that, she just sat in jail, and she was waiting. She was on death row.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do at that point?
Yeah.
You just wait.
So, at the time of her execution, she was 46 years old. She was, again, like I put it in the notes, but we already talked about it. She was supposed to be executed by electric chair, but it was changed to lethal poisoning, or lethal injection.
Damn.
Yeah. So, she had declined her last meal and instead asked for a cup of coffee. And on Wednesday, October 9th, 2002, that was the day. So, her last words were, quote, "I'd like to just say I'm sailing with the rock and I'll be back like Independence Day with Jesus. June 6th, like the movie, big mothership and all, I'll be back."
I'll be back.
I don't know what all that means. I don't know. It was like crazy. At 9:47 a.m., she was pronounced dead, and her ashes were scattered in Tuscola County in Michigan.
Damn.
Nasty.
I thought she was still alive.
No, she was executed.
Damn.
Yeah. In her last words, like, she was really like down
I
the
thought it
rabbit
was
hole.
gonna be like, fuck you.
I thought so too, but I don't. We'll go over this one more time. "I'd just like to say I'm sailing with the rock and I'll be back like Independence Day with Jesus. June 6th, like the movie, big mothership and all, I'll be back." What does that mean?
Broke on.
But yeah, American Horror Story season 4, Hotel, they have Aileen Wuornos in it. They have like these serial killers, and Aileen Wuornos is in that.
See, I didn't know that.
Well, she's not like actually in it, but
yeah, I know, but I didn't know that.
There's also a movie. It's called Monster, and the book that I read for all of the sources here is Monster. Usually we use Leafly for our strain of the day, and yeah, it's all.
And don't forget to check out my boy's Twitch page.
Yeah,
No Lab Spartan.
Yep. And all right, well, that's it. So we hope you...
And be prepared for that surprise.
Yes, there's a surprise. If you'd like to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, you can do that at
Kush Crime.
And then you can also find us on Patreon at
www.patreon.com/Kush Crime.
And you can also just shoot us an email of your funny stories or whatever
tell
you
us some
want to tell
funny
us.
things.
Tell us things. We like things. You can DM us
and
on
if there's
Instagram.
like a strain that you want us to
cover,
let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know your
we're
favorite
open to
strains.
everything. We're here.
Yeah. So you can email us at cushioncrime@gmail.com, or you can send us a DM on Instagram at cushioncrime. I check the email about once a week, but the DMs I see all the time.
It'll grow, donkey.
Yeah. Well, we hope that you stay lifted and join us again in 2 weeks when we have another very special, exciting episode for you.
I hope you like it.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Toodaloo.